Welcome back to Tech Talk 2020 with Sanjay Parker, the show where we get smarter together. Thank you for joining today. We are talking about big data, and thank you to our sponsor today, CleveSpace Interactive, frictionless IT for smart businesses. If you have a small or medium business and you're looking for competent, proper IT support or websites and hosting, contact CleveSpace Interactive, 440-360-7360.
Hey, this is Mike Carswell. I'm back here with Sanjay. And man, look what I found. This is cool on my computer. You know, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about big data.
And is that a song?
Yeah, actually, the name of the song is Big Data, and the group is Big Data.
I dig me some dubstep, for sure.
It's big, and it's full of data. So before we departed in our break and before the big...
We didn't really dearly depart. We just...
Before Big Data was
took our
played,
hiatus, right?
We discussed a couple V's in reference to the actual the real deal with big data. And one will be volume, because there's just so much information out there, so much. And then variety, both structured and unstructured. So you were going to, I take notes, brother. We're getting smarter together.
Getting
That's
smarter.
Right. So let's jump on V number 3 if you're ready to go that way, and help me out and help me understand where we're going.
I do, but I always like to recap just a teeny bit. So you did a really good job. But
Check yourself out.
Unstructured data is everything out there that wasn't planned to be categorized into a data set. For example, poetry, books, emails, videos, right? Structured data is stuff that might come in through an evaluation survey where you've got a certain amount of boxes and you can categorize feedback and things like that. Unstructured data is everything else. So Mike mentioned, we talked about the 2 of the 4 V's. So volume, there's so much data coming into this world right now.
Huge tracts of land.
Millions of sensors in your tennis shoes, in your Fitbits, in your cars. All that data is going somewhere, right? And then we talked about the variety of data. There's so many different types of data collection devices today. It's crazy. It's not always a computer, right? I mean, it could be, like we talked about, a microphone, a camera.
Wow.
Could be a human writing things down.
When I walk into the local department store, they're taking pictures of me there too, right?
Yeah, but they do that at the post office for you too.
Oh, I'm not worried.
So all kinds of data. It's crazy. 4 billion hours of video are watched on YouTube every single month. 4 billion hours.
I probably get my hour in every week.
30 billion pieces of content shared on Facebook every month. 30 billion.
Do you have a favorite group of YouTube videos that you like to watch?
400 million tweets. 400 million tweets sent per day by almost 200 million active users.
Twitter's huge.
Yes. YouTube, no, I don't. But I like to learn things quickly on YouTube, and I don't like long videos. But my son loves, he's 7 years old, he loves watching this kid who gets all these, apparently the kid doesn't go to school. He's like 8 or 9. I forgot his name even now. But
back in my day, we used to call that truant.
Truant, yes, that should be his name. But this kid's making about $2 million a year, him and his family, by reviewing products and talking about it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I don't remember his name. But anyway, it's pretty cool. So he gets all these products, and then he unboxes it, and then he talks about it. Very, very prescient kid, very smart. My daughter loves watching videos about Frozen and people taking little clay and forming Frozen characters and acting them out and stuff like that.
Am I in trouble because I've never seen Frozen?
Yes. Everywhere I go, I ask, when I present at conferences and meet with clients, they all know about Frozen. But I had a call about 2 weeks ago with friends. There were 3 people on. Nobody heard of the movie. Nobody's seen it. They've heard of it, but they've never seen it.
I would be in that category, and I'm not even French.
If you've got a girl who's 15 or under, maybe 12 or under, you've seen the movie multiple times.
Gotcha.
It's actually not too bad.
I'm not ripping it. I'm just unknowledgeable. But speaking of unknowledgeable, let's go back to big data.
Yeah. So the third V. So we did volume, variety. Third thing is velocity of data. That sounds scary. Like data hitting you on the head.
Velociraptor is the first thing I thought of, man.
Right. Or data just flying down at you, hitting you on the head. Well, ouch. Think about this. So slow velocity is when you have the U.S. Census, right? And every 10 years?
I was a census taker last time.
You were.
It was pretty awesome.
Can you tell us about that?
Well,
How's
I
that work?
actually knocked on folks' doors, say, hi, I'm with the U.S. Census Department, and we're here just making a count, a head count. Would you be able to participate in this quick questionnaire? Won't take you more than 5 minutes. And so I did that, and it was pretty cool. It was a lot
That's
of fun.
awesome. So the velocity of data in that case is very slow. You're going door to door. You're writing things down. You might have had a computer or something that you typed it into.
I believe I had to enter. No. Actually, everything was written, and then we had to turn into a supervisor after that. Sure.
So very slow velocity.
Yep.
Today, imagine your Fitbit, your car sending hundreds of data points per second, right, or minute, or whatever it is, around your pulse, your heart rate, your speed, your velocity, the oxygen sensing conditions within your vehicle. The velocity of that data and the data we get today is orders of magnitude more than we had before. So a car can have up to 100 sensors today that monitor things, like I talked about tire pressure.
Sure,
fuel,
absolutely.
The efficiency.
Well, cars are getting smarter and smarter every year, too. I think that some of the older models, when you take them into a mechanics know what to do. But, today's car, they basically plug it into a computer, and it defines what the issues are with the vehicle.
Absolutely. And then we've got 18.9 billion network connections today. That's about 2.5 connections per person on the planet.
We're overconnected.
We're hyper-connected in a hyper-connected world. So you talk about all that stuff. And then New York Stock Exchange captures tons of trading information,
Been
right?
there before?
A terabyte of trade information during each session every day. 1 terabyte of data around all of these trades that are happening.
One day if this show gets big enough, you and I can get there and go ring the bell. Wouldn't that be cool? Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Yes, that would be kind of cool. Tech Talk 2020, ding, ding, ding.
That's it, man.
That would be
I love
cool.
it.
I think we should float that out there. If any of our viewers feel that we should do that, lobby
Yes.
for us, please.
That's right. Put it on Twitter. Tweet about it.
So the velocity is definitely increased today. Another need for big data. And then there's something that's really important, and I think everybody can relate to this. It's called the veracity, veracity, the veracity of the data. How true, how authentic, how good is that data? We all have heard things where we're like, that really can't be true, right?
We're using veracity, but in Spanish, the word verdad, V-E-R-D-A-D, is true.
Yep.
For all you Spanish speakers out there, verdad.
And in
roll my
Latin,
Rs.
it's veritas, veritas.
Veritas.
Yeah.
I remember that from a movie.
Yeah.
What is truth? What is truth?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. So it's really about the truth of the data. So you can have a lot of data. And think about what we said earlier. In the last 2 years, more data was created than ever created by humans in the entire history of the planet. A lot of that data is garbage, right? It's Facebook posts, it's likes, it's tweets, it's things that people who don't know what they're talking about talk about, right? So it's not all good data, right? So confidence and veracity is important. So, for example, when you talk about businesses, 1 in 3 business leaders don't really trust the data that's put in front of them. They don't.
Okay.
Even though they see it, they're supposed to make decisions on it, they don't believe it. It doesn't pass the gut check. And I think that's still going to be important as humans, right? If your GPS tells you to keep driving and there's a cliff coming up, you should say, well, I know that the data and the GPS says that I should keep going straight.
Sure.
However, my gut says that that's kind of dangerous. I'm not going.
It sounds like you should trust your spidey sense.
Spidey sense. We all have that tingly.
Way to go, Peter Parker.
Tingliness. Right. Think about this. So if you interview people and talk about their data at companies, 27%, or the average number that you'll come up with where people know that it's not accurate, it's 27%. They'll personally vouch and say, yeah, a little bit less than a third of my data is probably garbage or fluff.
Wow.
And we're using it every day. So it's hard to get good quality, true data, right? The old-fashioned gumshoe way where you knock on the door and get data, that's pretty good, but you don't know if the people are making things up.
Sure, they could be fabricating that as well.
Yeah, right. So it's so hard. But we do trust today, technology people trust in sensors. They know that the sensor has no bias. They know that if it's failing, all kinds of readings will be out of scope and out of spec and out of the norm. So they can shut down that sensor and take that data out. So we're seeing a little bit more accuracy. We're trusting machines a lot, of course, which is part of the theme of the show always. But we're getting more truth in the data because of these sensors, which are pretty accurate.
I see a lot of parallels here with our just an evening of staying home watching television. Hey, with me, Sanjay.
Yes.
So volume. How many channels do I have? A gamillion, right?
Very
okay.
nice.
Honestly, I kind of structured it down. I only have about 40 of them. But honestly, when I've had DirecTV or some of the other satellite services before, you got 718 channels. What are you going to do with that?
Yep.
So the volume's
Cut the
huge.
cable.
And then you got variety. You've got so many classifications of shows and TV things to watch and not watch. And how many home shopping networks do you need? And then the velocity. You mentioned the the speed. Oh my gosh! Just a quick push of my finger. I'm here in France, and now I'm in Detroit, and now I'm in Pittsburgh, and now I'm in San Jose. And then the veracity of the data. The truth. Well, you got to believe everything you see on television, right?
Always. And everything you read on the internet.
That's right, because every news channel is there to give you an unbiased, really straight-up deal.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So how is big data affecting your life?
Sarcasm.
So-
Sarcasm. What'd you say now?
How is big data affecting your life? It's affecting how you watch TV. Netflix uses it, for example, for their recommendation engine, which is in the industry, it's absolutely amazing. It'll say, people who watch this also watch this, but it goes a step further and says, based on these 12 videos you watched, you're going to like this one.
I think YouTube does that as well.
Mm-hmm. So
YouTube
that
does
recommendation engine, that's big data. It's not just you, it's everybody else, but you're getting that information. Think about politics. So no longer, both campaigns used this last time. So they know that if you're interested in volunteering, you're probably interested in donating. If you donate the maximum amount, $2,500, whatever it is, they stop sending you emails for more money. They start sending you emails for volunteering again. I mean, it's amazing how much all of this big data stuff does.
Well, I think I probably confuse a lot of folks because I think they probably will know who I follow on Twitter, right? So I follow a lot of.
You follow
different
both?
folks. I follow everybody on Twitter.
That's called data obfuscation, and there are people who do that. So when you do, there's like a software piece that says when you search on Google, it'll send out 12 other random searches, so Google won't know exactly who you are and what
Gotcha.
you're looking for. Think about weather. So big data is used in weather. There's millions of geologic and geographic and whatever geothermal collection points all over the place, collecting this data, feeding it to big data trends, so now we can more accurately predict weather, though our local anchors
They do
still
a great
can't
job.
do it.
We're supposed to get rain today. Psych.
Right. So for health too, IBM has something called Watson Analytics in health,
I've heard
and
Watson.
they're able to search through your symptoms and your lab results and help a doctor narrow it down. A doctor who's very not much sleep and has a lot of cases and everything, maybe the smartest guy in the room, but this helps them pinpoint some of the potential conditions you have using big data.
So when I put information in my chart, which is what it's called usually in some of the medical environments, it's all documented, it's there. And you would think that information is always going to be helpful, though.
Yeah, sure.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, it's good for you too to have that portability, right?
Gotcha. And I could look at it myself at any time.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Big data is your data. Don't forget, we're contributing to all of that stuff.
All right, big data. We love big data. I don't know about the group yet, but we definitely like big data. Hey, guys, thank you for listening to us here on Tech Talk 2020 this evening. And if there is anything you'd like to tweet about, talk about with us, we'll get back to you really quickly. But hit us up on Tech Talk 2020 on Facebook or on Twitter at Tech Talk 2020. This is Mike Carswell.
And Sanjay Parker, thank you guys for joining. We'll talk to you next week.